I'm convinced that The Guardian is the best publication in the world. But anyway, recently they talked about the school to prison pipeline, which is something that we've discussed before, but they did a really great detailed report on the number of school-age students who are getting arrested in Texas. And they're getting arrested for crazy things, including spraying perfume on themselves in class.
How dare they?
How dare they?
Maximum security.
Now, this is something that I'm fascinated by, right? Because whenever you see kids being arrested and given classy misdemeanors, someone's profiting from it, right? So at first I thought it has to be the for-profit prisons. It has to be. But when it comes to juvenile detention centers in the state of Texas, there's only one private juvenile detention center that only houses about 145 kids. So it's not the for-profit prisons in this case. But here's what it is. It's the regressive system of revenue generation. Okay, so what's happening is they need to generate revenue, right? Texas is always talking about how they have low taxes and it's great because, you know, people have financial freedom there. No, they don't have financial freedom. They're finding kids to give classy misdemeanors to, so they pay the fine and the state generates as much revenue as possible from that.
If this applied back when I was going to school, I would have been arrested every other day. I mean, people getting arrested for leaving class? You kidding me?
You get arrested for being absent. You get arrested for spraying perfume on yourself. You get arrested for cussing at other students. If you don't get arrested and if you don't get sent to a juvenile detention center, you most certainly get a fine, right? And you have to pay that fine. You have to show up to court. So let me give you some more details on this story that I found fascinating in the article. In 2010, the police gave 300,000 Class C misdemeanors to children as young as 6 in the state of Texas. All right. The number of school districts with their own police departments rose 20% in the last 2 decades. Think about that. All of these school districts have their own mini police departments that focus on giving these students tickets so they can pay these fines.
By the way, some cities in Texas have actually shut their police departments down completely. But they do have police departments inside the schools. Why? Because the 6-year-olds are about to riot? No, because they make money off of it. They figured out a money-making system, but they're not raising taxes because the politicians have to say they're not raising taxes. So what do? There's an old Mitt Romney trick in Massachusetts. Everybody now, almost all the Republican governors do it. I'm sure Democrats do it too, but the Republicans came up with it so they can say they don't raise taxes. Oh, I just increased fines. What? So, you know, if you're got parking violations, increase the fines. Moving violations, increase the fines. School violations, well now, no, they're misdemeanors now. They're not just, you don't just get suspended, you owe me money.
Yes.
In fact, I make so much money off of this, I hired a policeman inside your school just so he can write out these tickets so we can criminalize your 6-year-olds and get paid for doing it.
Look, it's a win-win for both teachers, school administrators, and also for the state, because the state is making money, and then the teachers and the administrators can just have a knee-jerk reaction to everything, not have to go through the process of disciplining these students, just be like, hey, let's call the police. This little girl sprayed perfume on herself. Let's get rid of her.
And one other terrible part of this is that it makes our kids into robots. You know, don't question authority. Don't do anything wrong. You do something even slightly out of step with what a teacher wants. That's it. You're committing a misdemeanor. You'll be fined. And especially for the poor and middle-class kids, those fines can be devastating.
Let me tell you guys how. Students who have been arrested while they were in school do not have the opportunity to get federal financial aid when they apply for college. So it really screws them over. And here's another way that it screws these kids over. What happens is, let's say it is a poor family and they do not have the money necessary to pay this fine. What happens is they put the fine on hold until the student is 17 years old. And then when the student is 17, they throw them in jail.
Oh, for Christ's sake, man. Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, right? So what are we doing, man? We're locking up half the country.